Mom, Dad, I'm moving to LA to get my master's. Why do you have to move to LA? You can get your master's here in Texas. Your father's an alumni at the university. I actually got a job at the BII Corporation. A job? Why do you need a job? No, Barbara, it's time he makes it out there on his own. I'm proud of you, son. Yes, this is Liam Graham, the only child of Robert and Barbara Graham. He grew up being pampered as well as strictly grounded by his possessive parents. They showered him with love and affection and at the same time made sure to instill the right teachings in him. Dad, can I get a gaming room? Sure, son. If you can earn it, you must learn the value of money. Mom, can I go out with my friends? Who are you going with? Where are you going? When are you coming back? You have to be back by 5 p.m. You think it's a safe place out there? You need to learn the value of safety. Liam grew up maintaining curfews, learning life lessons, and hanging out with a handful of approved friends. He wasn't allowed to go out too much or to what his parents considered negative environments. They created a big deal whenever he mentioned anything closely related to moving out, and Liam even graduated from college whilst living in his parents' home. Dude, are you gonna live with your parents forever? No, man, but you know how they are. Hold up, I got an idea. I can talk to my boss and get you a good offer here in LA. This was Kyle and Felix, Liam's close friends. They had pitched him the idea of moving to LA, with a legitimate reason. And it seemed that it worked. But now that he was in LA and amongst his buddies, it was time to have fun. Dude, when are you gonna get yourself a girlfriend? Girlfriend? Who needs a girlfriend? He needs to get himself laid. Are you planning on being celibate or something? I just haven't found the right one yet. At 24, I don't think you have to find the right one. You just need to find someone. And I know the perfect place. Las Vegas? Las Vegas, baby. We're gonna party hard this weekend. Yep, Liam didn't have a girlfriend. As a matter of fact, Liam had yet to lose it. And to his defense, there was a reason behind it, and it all happened the last day of 8th grade. There was a girl named Julia, Liam's crush. Julia, you look nice. Yeah, thanks, I know. Are you here to give out some papers or something? Why are you even talking to me? No, this isn't a paper. I actually wrote something for you. What? Roses are red, violets are blue, but no flower in this world is as beautiful as you. Julia, I love you. Julia snatched the note from him and burst out laughing. Wait, I got one too. Roses are red, violets are blue. Faces like yours belong in the zoo. Did you really think I would say yes to you, you loser? That day had messed up Liam's confidence real bad. He had stayed away from girls since, and it had been a long 10 years of loneliness. The next weekend, the three friends drove from LA to LV and booked into a hotel. The first night there, they headed off to the casino, where Felix had gotten himself wrapped up in the game, while Kyle was enjoying himself at the bar and Liam was just sitting around watching all the other people. That's when he spotted a girl sitting a few seats down from him. Go ask her out, man. You think she'll say yes? If she says no, you move on to the next. What's the big deal, dude? Go. So Liam gathered up the courage and walked up to her. Hopefully, he wouldn't stutter and make a fool out of himself. No poems this time. Hey, I'm Liam. Hello, I'm Cecilia. Are you waiting for someone? Nope, all by myself. That's surprising. Someone as beautiful as you, all alone? Can I buy you a drink? You don't have to do all this. I'm up for it, but I'll charge. Liam froze for a while. She was so young, probably younger than him. The last thing on his mind was that she would be one of them. Was she serious? So where do you want to go? How about somewhere a little less crowded, like the lakeside? Are you sure you don't want to get a room? There's a hotel nearby. Perhaps later on. So Liam and Cecilia headed out. The lakeside was just a walk away. There were only a handful of people there, so the two were practically alone. Can I ask you something personal? Yeah, sure. Why do you do what you do? Cecilia laughed. To save the world. To save the world? Yeah, just look at our society. These days, majority of men are single because if you get married, you have to be committed, take up all these responsibilities, but then if you happen to get a divorce, you lose half of your money, your property. So more men are choosing to be single, and when you're single, you get frustrated. But that doesn't change the fact that men run the society. Now take a doctor for example. If he's frustrated and he has to go for an operation, he might slip up and the patient might die. Or he happens to diagnose a patient wrong, and he gives him the wrong medication, and the chaos ensues. Or a construction worker messes up on the job, the whole building collapses, bridges break down. So many people can lose their lives. But when I'm there, I can help rid that frustration. We're the most important part of the society. We make sure men can stay mentally sane, put all their focus on their work, and keep the world running. Liam intently listened to Cecilia speak. She was so different. So what do you do? I'm an accountant. I was here on a trip. I live in LA. Cool. I live here, so life is pretty thrilling every day. A few hours went by in which the two walked around the lakeside chatting about this and that. You want to get something to eat? Sure. After getting some tacos from a street vendor, the two sat down by the bank. You realize you're wasting your time, right? When are we gonna get to business? I'm leaving as soon as it's morning. No problem. You're gonna pay for this, right? Yeah, you don't have to worry about that. Then what is it? It's not like you've never done it before. Are you scared you'll get some disease? No, I just want to get to know you first. Oh, so that's the case. Girls like us always take precautions. We have to get weekly checkups. I'm absolutely sober and clean. I never said you weren't. Well, I'm just saying, it's far safer than spending the night with a random woman you flirted with at a bar. 'Cause just think about it. We all lose it when we're like 15 or 16, and then it's one boyfriend after the other, then the one night stands, until you get married at 26 or 27. No one is gonna point a finger at them, but they say a whole lot of things about us because we charge. You know, you're really different from all the girls I've ever met. Yeah, and you're very different from all the guys I met. The two spent the whole night talking by the lakeside, until it was almost dawn. Your time's up. I don't normally tell this to my customers, but I had a good time. Here's your payment. Before you go, where can I find you again? You can have my number. After a strange night in Vegas, Liam returned to the hotel room sometime around 5 a.m. Dude, where were you all night? It's like you vanished. Yeah, I was with her. Oh, so did you get lucky? No, she charges. Felix pulled down his blankets and got up. Dude, then it must have been awesome. No, nothing happened. What? You were with her? And you're still a saint? Why would you give up this chance, dude? The rest of the weekend went by in hanging around the city and before the friends returned to LA. But Liam just couldn't get Cecilia off his mind. She was so happy and cheerful. Liam had expected someone in her place to be quite the opposite. He wished he could meet her again. Maybe he could text her. Hey Cecilia, this is Liam. We met a couple nights back. Hi Liam, what's up? Just wondering how you were. Well, if you want to talk, then I shall let you know my time costs money. Alright, how about I pay you $20 an hour to talk to me? What is it about you? You just want to talk? Liam and Cecilia started texting. How old are you? I'm turning 19 this July, but who's keeping track? I've totally given up celebrating my birthday. Why not? What's there to celebrate? it's a special day all about you, because you're special. I don't think so. Before long, it seemed that they were texting all day for the next couple of days. I actually have a confession to make. It would have been my first time if we did it that night. What? How did that happen? Well, my first crush rejected me in 8th grade. It was pretty embarrassing, and then I haven't really gotten with anyone since. Just because of one incident, a 13-year-old stupid comment, you literally put your love life aside. It's not as simple as it sounds, alright. Yeah, sure, it must have been heartbreaking. On the next weekend, Liam was eager to see Cecilia. He drove all the way to LV again. Can we meet? Aren't you in LA? No, I'm here. Is it for business or just as friends? Because I don't really have time for friends right now. I don't plan on doing this forever. I'm gonna save enough money and start my own restaurant, so I have to stay focused. Then I guess it's for business. So the two met up. They spent the whole day around the city. So you traveled all the way here to meet me. I liked spending time with you last weekend. You know something? You don't have to pay for today. I feel like I'm ripping you off. The money you gave me for only texting you, you could have spent 3 nights with me. I guess I enjoy spending time knowing you. Liam started visiting Cecilia every weekend, and before long, they became quite close to each other. It was one weekend that the two were sitting out by the Colorado Lake when they heard a knock on their car window. Cecilia felt a little nervous seeing a police officer inside. What's going on here? We were just touring the area. Liam showed the officer his license, but it seemed that he was more interested in speaking to Cecilia. Can you step out of the vehicle, please? Liam watched as the officer started questioning her. What are you doing with him? He's paying you? No, he's just a friend. You know you can be arrested for this. Panicked, Cecilia came back to the car and grabbed her purse and paid the officer almost half of what she made. After the police finally left, she got back into the car and sighed. Sorry about that, things like this happen. Liam only nodded his head without a word. Cecilia started to feel a bit embarrassed. Can you drop me home? The whole ride, Liam didn't speak a word to her. And later that night, Cecilia couldn't help but check her phone every few minutes waiting for his message. But Liam didn't text her. When a few days went by like this, Cecilia started to feel hopeless. Hey Liam, I understand being friends with someone like me isn't easy, and it's okay if you don't want to interact with me again. I won't bother you. But I just wanted to let you know, no one chooses this life for themselves. I'm sorry if I was any trouble to you. When Liam got the message, he felt so frustrated. That day, he didn't like seeing Cecilia so helpless. Why would someone like her have to go through something like that? He wanted to reply to her, but this wasn't how. It was almost 1 a.m. when Cecilia heard her doorbell. Liam, you're here? We need to talk. As Liam stepped inside looking at her, Cecilia knew this night wasn't going to be like all the other nights. Tonight would be different. This wasn't business. This was love. After spending those special moments together, Cecilia and Liam sat there facing each other. There was obviously a lot to talk about, many things unsaid. Liam, I don't know if you feel about me the way I've started to feel about you, but I don't want you to misunderstand me. I never wanted to live this kind of life. I grew up in a very bad household. My mother always mistreated me, and my father was never there for me. There were constant fights, things became physical, life was just miserable. It was only me and my younger sister. If it wasn't for her, I don't know how I would have gone through those years. When I turned 17, I decided to move out. I had no money, I had nowhere to go. I spent nights out on the street until I managed to get a job as a bartender. but I hated working there. I saw so many kinds of people, and it's no surprise the men tried to flirt with me and sometimes even be outright inappropriate. But I still wasn't making much. From that, I sent back money to my sister, and the rest went in paying for the room I was staying in. There were days when I wouldn't even have the money to get home if no one tipped me. I still tried to make do with whatever I had, but I soon found myself unable to pay the rent. I knew if I loaned money, I would just be getting myself into more trouble. I wouldn't be able to pay it off. It was a misery to even return home. Hey beautiful, wanna come home with me tonight? I'll give you double what the others are paying you. How much you want? It was one night, I felt so helpless, that I accepted the offer. And when I got the money that night, I realized that was the only way. If I could save enough money, I could finally do something for myself and for my sister. So I've been doing this for about a year now. Liam interrupted Cecilia as she spoke. He got up, shuffling his pocket. What are you doing? It's nothing. It's your birthday today, isn't it? It is? You remembered? Liam took out a small box and stooped down to his knees. Will you marry me? Cecilia stared at the ring in awe. Are you serious? Yes, I will. Okay, come with me. He grabbed Cecilia and ran outside, where Kyle and Felix were standing out in the middle of the road. She said, yes, you guys. Congrats, man. Liam watched in amazement as Kyle and Felix let loose fireworks, and the night sky suddenly became bright and colorful. Have you been planning this the whole time? Yeah. So they've been waiting out here the whole time you were inside? Yeah. You're crazy. The day of Liam and Cecilia's wedding was quite a memorable one. Wow, she invited all her friends? Can I have the number of the blonde one? You can, but I don't think you'll be able to afford her. Come on everyone, let's take a picture. Wow, these bridesmaids are classy. Are you checking them out? Does your mom and dad know what I used to do? Not really. And that is the story of how two very different people found their way to each other. Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.